If only there was an easy way to get back buttons on your PlayStation 5 Dualsense controller without having to open it up and do internal surgery. Well, it turns out there is a way, and we're going to talk about it in this video. Hello and welcome back to Gears and Tech. Now, before I get too far into this video, the number one question that a lot of you guys have is, does the solution that we're going to review today currently work on the PlayStation 5? Because as you're going to find out as we get further into this video, that some people may not be able to use the solution that we have here. If you're curious, I will put a pinned comment at the bottom of this video to say the current status of if this works with current firmware of the PlayStation 5 or if for some reason it does not work. So for the most relevant information about if this works on the PlayStation 5 right now, check that pinned comment and you'll get all the information you're looking for. Now with that out of the way, let's kind of talk about what brought us to the point that we're at right now. Now, many of you guys have seen me review the Be Savior controller mod, which adds 4 back paddles to your controller. I really enjoy this mod and I've been using it as my daily driver for the last quite a while now, actually, because it's the best implementation for back paddles if you're willing to open your controller and make that modification. But for many of us, we don't want to open our controller and we need a solution that just clips right on. And luckily, the folks at Collective Minds have heard our call and they have provided this, which is the Strike Pack Horizon Vista mod pack that just clips right onto your PlayStation 5 console. I have finally got my hands on one of these and it is time to do an unboxing. We're going to set it up and we're gonna test it out and see how it works on my PlayStation 5 Slim console. Now, first off, I gotta say the packaging on this is actually top notch. It's 3 colors, so it's blue, red, and black. It's very glossy and it's high quality. Like, this is very high quality packaging. The folks at Collective Minds, they know what they're doing when it comes to packaging. Interestingly though, the box came like this and it came with this, which I'm assuming is about a 10-foot long USB-C cord. I don't know why it wasn't packaged inside the box, but we'll find out. So we're gonna do the pre-unboxing because we're gonna check out this guy, which, like I said, I think it's just a long USB-C cord, but now it is a high quality cord. It's got a braided kind of jacket on it, but let's see here, let's see. There's 5 feet, there's 10 feet. So it is 10 feet long, which is great. It is a USB-C to USB-C. So that's good because it'll plug into the front USB-C port on your PlayStation 5 Slim or your PlayStation 5, because both have a USB-C port in the front. And for review purposes, it's a very long cable because it's kind of in our way. So we're gonna put that tangled mess over there. Let's slide this out. You guys can see it first. Ooh, actually, it's a really nice box. Stop! There's no need to go back to the store. We can help. That's very prominent. Questions and answers are available here online. So don't send it back to Collective Minds. Also, I'll do my best to help with troubleshooting and stuff. Now this is just taped on here, which is interesting. I don't want to wreck it. It's like literally just some tape there. I guess they really want you guys to not return this to the store if you've got problems. And then that exposes the device. It's got a plastic cover over it. Let's pull this out. Nothing in the bottom of the box. Oh, there we go. Strike Pack Central, a scannable QR code. This is, well, here, before we check out this guy, look inside there. Let's see what's inside this bag. Is this actually like a manual? Collective Minds, that's the app, which we're gonna explore more. Collective Minds manual, which I'm not gonna read, and a warranty card, which I'm probably not gonna use. But you guys can scan these QR codes if you're like, I don't know how to find these things. Well, here you go. There's the manual and the app. You can pause the video, scan the QR code, and you're off to the races. Now let's check this out. This is the one I'm interested in. It's got this clear plastic cover on it. Very nice. I gotta say, the packaging's nice. And then this is Strike Pack. Now, as far as build quality, it's actually pretty sturdy feeling. I'm just kind of giving it its paces here. The buttons are clicky. The back buttons are okay. We'll check how it fits on the controller in a minute here, but as far as the color goes, It's very comparable. Now this is a used controller, so it's kind of dirty, but it's okay. Now, what does this do? And I'm glad you asked that. And let's see, I think the box tells us mostly what it does. So this works only with the standard Dualsense controller. If you have a Dualsense Edge, this will not clip onto your Dualsense Edge for obvious reasons. The Dualsense Edge has back buttons on it already. This is designed to provide back buttons for a controller that doesn't already have back buttons. It also includes programmable buttons. Now these are the back guys here, which we talked about. You will have a 1, 2, 3, and a 4, which are clearly marked on here. And they're programmable in many ways. So you can remap any of the buttons from the controller, but you can also map macros onto it to do multiple button pushes in a certain sequence with optimized timing for a lot of the games that you might be playing. This is not just a first-person shooter mod. It will allow you to do all of these mods on any kind of game where certain button presses are required to perform certain functions. So it does make that a little bit easier for you. Endless mod combos. Mod is an acronym. What does it stand for? I don't know. We'll find out while we play with this. Wired connection. So it's important that you understand, and we'll show this in a minute, but this is a wired modification. It will not play wirelessly, and that's why we got that 10-foot long cable, because it does need to be plugged into your PlayStation 5 all the time for it to work. Now that is very consistent with every other strike pack that has ever been out, PlayStation 4, Xbox, or anything else, so this shouldn't be a surprise to most of you. App powered. Now this is new. There's actually an app that will sync with this device and allow you to program a lot of the settings. We're going to test that once we get it hooked up over here to my computer monitor. We'll get connected into the app and explore kind of what kinds of settings we have, and we'll jump into a game and see what that does. Now, some of the functionality that this adds also is hair triggers, anti-recoil, and rapid fire. The hair triggers is what I'm mostly curious about. The guys at Collective Minds have told me, so I asked them, I said, how come you don't have the add-on trigger stops like you do on the PlayStation 4, the Xbox? The answer back was, you actually don't need them. See, they have actually tapped into the adaptive triggers to put a modified trigger stop, if you will, to shorten the throw of the triggers to make them feel like clicky triggers without having to add any kind of attachment onto this. So I'm curious to see how good that works. I'm wondering if I can pull through it. So some games I've played, especially like Call of Duty, it does add adaptive triggers and there is like a trigger stop of some sort, but I still have to pull through it to fire, and I can pull through it, I do. So they've told me that they've used the strongest setting that is available to the PlayStation 5 controller to make it difficult to pull through so it functions as a true trigger stop. I'm the most curious about that. I'm not sure if we're gonna dig into macros and all of that because it is kind of cheating and it's not something that we really want to dwell on in this video. It does enable mods, it does allow you to do that stuff, but I want to just see functionality wise, the back buttons, programming the back buttons and those trigger stops, because that's mostly what I'm interested in. So the first thing to do is the first coupling of the controller and the strike pack. So it just goes in like this, it clips onto the front USB port, just like that. And then this little piece here swings around here, and then it's got these little teeth on here. I don't know if you can see those little teeth right here. And those teeth go into the speaker hole right there, like this, there. And with a good push, it locks that in place and it holds it on the controller very well. Now the fit here is pretty good actually, I must say. Like I'm just checking out kind of, especially the gap along here, how that fits. It's pretty sturdy. What I want to know is the button placement. So I told you guys, I'm happy with the button placement on this guy to where it fits my hand really well. This is what I'm used to. Now there's a certain amount of flex here and a lot of throw. So with this in my hands, how does it feel? Okay, I gotta say, you can't see this, but I've got these fingers on here and I got these fingers on here. And I don't know how to show that to you guys very well, but there are 4 back paddles. I am not smart enough to use all of the buttons up here, 2 thumbsticks, triggers, and 4 back paddles. I like 4 back paddles, but I've mapped them and I just find I never use them. I mostly use just 2 back paddles. So I'm thinking I'm actually, due to the placement, I'm using these 2. So this would be button 1 and button 2 are gonna be kind of my go-to buttons. I might not map these ones to anything because based on how I grip, it's not bad. Like it'll take a slight grip adjustment, but it's really not bad. So the next thing to do, I gotta hook this up and get this app connected. So we're gonna jump in with this hooked up and see how this actually works on the PlayStation. Now we've got the PlayStation booted up. I'm playing it on a monitor, but I'm not playing it through the computer. So if you're asking, will this work with my PlayStation 5 just with a TV or monitor? Yes. We've just connected to this monitor. I just have screen capture set up so that I can also show footage to you guys in this video. You do not need a computer like this to make this work. This is just a PlayStation and a monitor. There's just some extra stuff here in the video. Now I'm going to take this USB cord. We're gonna plug it into the front USB port on the PlayStation 5. It doesn't have to be the front port. You can use a USB-C to USB-A adapter and plug it in the back if you don't want it visible on the front. We're just plugging it on the front because it's visible to you guys so you can see what we've done here. Next thing I'm gonna do is plug this into the strike pack like that. And the strike pack's gonna immediately start flashing some lights and blink. And there we go, the PlayStation has synced. Now, if it does not sync with your PlayStation, you may have to change the settings for the controller. The easiest way to do that is press the PS button, go over here to accessories, click on that. Dualsense wireless controller will come up. Now I have the USB symbol to say I'm connected through USB. If you're not connected through USB, you can highlight it, go to controller settings, and then this will allow you to go to communication method and then switch it to say use USB cable. Now I have use USB cable on already, so it worked. But if yours isn't working, switch this from Bluetooth to use USB. So now that this is on, the next step that we're gonna do is go to our app. Now the app has been here running this whole time and it already found the controller. It's asking, do you wanna connect? Yes, I do, so I'm gonna click connect. And now it's doing an update and here we go. Now we are into the Strike Pack app. Now I'm going to set up for a shooter. So I'm gonna select shooter. Oh look, there's settings on here already. Whoa. Now I'm exploring this the same time as you guys, so I don't really know my way around here. So we're gonna look at just the Collective Minds default. Now this is going to tell us what options we have. Now there's a lot of options here. Now it wants to know if I want to turn on anti-recoil. So it's kind of forcing me to use mods right away. But I'm mostly interested in the button mapping. So I can click the mapping button down here and then you can see your paddles. Now for me, I use this button here, which would be button 2. I use that for jump and I use button 1 for slide. Those are the two buttons I use. So I'm gonna go button 2 and jump is X, like that. And I'm gonna pick this guy and that is O. Now you can see some of the mapping options here. You can use your touch, your share button, L3, R3, left, right, up, down, and so on. And then on the right-hand side of the controller, you can even map to triggers or your face buttons. So that's it for those maps. Now I'm gonna click that again to hide it. I do like this, you've got block mods, and then that automatically turns all of the mods off of the controller, which is fine, I'm okay with that. And then I'm gonna go to controller and see if I get, okay, good. So, okay, this is good. So this is the part that I was curious about. So block controller rumble. I always want controller rumble off. So this will just block that. Left hair trigger, yes please. Right hair trigger, also yes please. Now let's see if it automatically forced that. Now, I do, okay, it's probably on, but the trigger stops are off. So I'm gonna give it full settings for both. Okay. Now, this is not quite what I was expecting. I was expecting to add a trigger stop as well, but they did add the tension on here. So there's a free zone you can see here, and then you have to pull through that. You can pull through it, but it adds so much resistance that you're probably unlikely to do it. So I think this is probably like a trigger stop. So I'm gonna go into Black Ops Cold War. I'm gonna do an offline map. Now we get to the part of this review where I have a confession to make. And unfortunately, this confession might not be relevant to everybody at all. So it turns out that the PlayStation has an update. Now it did update recently before I was waiting for my strike pack to show up, and it wasn't a required update, but the update blocked devices like this, the Horizon Strike Pack and the Cronus Zen and all kinds of devices like that. So the system, I was lucky. I was able to turn updates off on my system, and I've been able to continue using any device that I want up until today. So now when I go to play Cold War, it says there's a system update. Now, if I do this update, this device will cease to function and I'll be able to play the game, but I won't be able to use this device. And that's why at the beginning of the video I said, check the comments to see if it's been updated to work again or if it doesn't work. So before I hit update, I do want to just fully explore the options here. So I can already tell you guys that these controller mods, the ones that I was most interested in, this is really, really cool. So you guys can see this here. This is about how far that throw goes with it set to short throw. Now if I move it to medium, you can see it moves a little bit further and gets that throw further. Now if I go long, then it goes even further, and then you can see, now there is still a little bit of a pull through zone there. You can see there, but it pulls and then stops. Now that is the clicky setting. Now if I go to just long, I don't know what the difference is between long or long click. If we're in long, you can see the travel is about this far, but there's still a pull through zone. Now, the range of motion on here is, this is 0. When it pulls to here, it's gonna be like 75%, but you still have to pull that extra resistance area to get to full 100%. Now, if you're playing games like Call of Duty, the activation, you may have to pull it further to hit that activation point. Whereas if I go to long click, when I get to the end of the throw here, it will be like full throw. So it reduces that throw. So if I go to short click, it only moves this far, but moving this far is the same as moving this far without this setting. So it makes it like a true clicky trigger. I'm actually really excited for this. That's really, really cool. Now, there are controller mods, and I do want to look at these just to see what they are. And these are toggles. Now, the reason why everyone's so up in arms over this device is I can easily just turn on anti-recoil, and I can adjust horizontal adjust as well. So no matter what the shape of my recoil on my gun is, no matter what the shape of the recoil on my gun is, I can tune that out with this so that I shoot dead shot perfect aim. It makes it so accessible. No scripts to add, no nothing. Also aim assist. I can just turn on aim assist. Can I adjust it? No. Autofocus. I don't even know what that does, but it's a button I can turn. Dive sprint, rapid melee, rotational aim assist. Rotational aim assist is probably where it just rotates the thumbstick slightly, ever so slightly, to keep the aim assist locked on. It's kind of how those mod packs work, but it is a very dumbed down version compared to what like the Cronus Zen can do, but it's just a toggle here. Slide cancel, get infinite running in the game with slide cancel. Active aim mod. Now I don't know what that is. It's opening up a website. Crouch aim, drop aim, hop aim, mark aim, ping aim. Wow. Okay, so if I went like ping aim, does that download it and load it? So all of these toggles are like instant God mode. Now, of course, I'm gonna go block mods and turn that all off. We've got audio, master volume, alert volume. That's interesting. It allows you to adjust the volume, presumably if you're using that headset right there. And then I think I can save this. You can change your stick layout, aim assist intensity. Okay, so there's where we adjust our aim assist. If you go too high, you'll get banned for sure. Anti-recoil mode, weapon swap mode, weapon selector mode, aim activation, any ADS and fire. Wow. Okay, as someone who has tested the Cronus Zen, and I've kind of played with some of those mod packs to see if they work, this is kind of mid-level advancement. It does not have the full user adjustability that a strike pack has, but this is pretty next level. This makes it so accessible. This is a mod that you just plug onto the controller. There's buttons on the back here, which I probably can use to activate certain settings quickly on the fly. I have no idea. I don't know what's happening here. But we can look into that. So now here's the question. When I go to play the game, it's asking for an update. Now, I'm gonna hit the update. I have no choice. It won't let me play any games without doing the update. So, let's update and see if this survives the update. 1.186 gigabytes. System update is complete, and if I unplug the controller and plug it back in, I get about 3 seconds, if I'm lucky, of control, and then the controller is locked out and it no longer works. Now, this is cause for rejoice for most people out there, but the rejoice is short-lived because anyone that's got one of these, a B-Loader Pro, anyone that's got one of these, a Cronus Zen, can actually enable remote play support. They can connect this Strike Pack Horizon Vista through the Cronus using remote play and still get full access to all their PlayStation 5 games without any block in place. So there's still workarounds that work right now. They're obviously not the most ideal workarounds because I'd rather be connected directly into the PlayStation, skip the remote play option, but if you want to use it, it will work that other way. This is not a video on how to make this thing work on your PlayStation 5. Maybe that video will come out in the future, but for now, this is a review of the product. And I have to say, based on what I've seen, this is a remarkable product that has a ton of features and functionality that will work again, as long as they figure out how the heck to patch this. But until then, plan to use those remote play methods. And this is, for the first iteration of a product that adds back paddles to your PlayStation 5 controller without needing to solder anything on there, it is a very good offering with a lot of features and functionality that I'm really excited to explore in future videos. If you want to get one yourself, I will put links in the description. You can check it out down there. And let's talk about this. Push your comments down below. Let's open the chats up. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video, and we'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. You'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.